Alrighty, we should be coming through live in just a second. I hope this is coming through loud and clear, guys, on this Tuesday evening. And we are going to get into it. We're going to be talking all about the altcoins that are pumping, Tesla, a few updates on the channel, a bit of everything. So get those questions ready. We'll see how we go from time, if I can run through a lot of those questions for you at the end as well. I hope you've all had a good day, and I've enjoyed jumping on and doing these live, and all of a sudden it feels like there's lots of altcoin news, lots of macro news to talk about every day. So I've got plenty of videos and interviews up our sleeve as well, which is exciting. I'm going to talk about a new segment we've got coming for you as well. Just give everyone a little chance to tune in. But if you do, smash the like button and share this video around with your friends and crypto groups. That does help us grow the channel, as you guys know. So hey, Independent, Andrew, Jamie, D, Jonathan, Crazy Kangaroo, always first in the house. And well done for Paul for being first tonight. Hey, Carolyn. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got a few big movers in the past 24 hours, but in the past week, Icon is up 220%. Hedera Hashgraph, Aeon, Elf, Engine, RAN, Republic Protocol, Kyber. So there's some big moves, and this is why people get attracted to crypto, because these sort of moves, you just rarely see them in the stock market. But we are going to talk about Tesla and the move that that's had, and some ideas on how you can profit from these, and things that weren't really around or available during the last altcoin market cycle. So we have to remember when we're looking at these small cap coins that a lot of them are coming off a really low base. So these large percentage moves, they feel like a lot, but they can keep going over time. So in the immediate short term, when we see something like Icon go up like this, I think it's up 50% in the past couple of hours, it's normally going to have a bit of a pullback. Now, I was pretty lucky here. I was sort of at the screen when this was happening, and it was right at its peak, and keeping one eye on Twitter and whatnot. One of the things that I noticed was that this is one of the main coins that's in the index. So if we head over to FTX, you guys know that I love these baskets, these sort of ETF, these indexes that they have. And you can see the components of the different indexes here. So this is the mid cap and then the shit coin index. So one of the components here is ICX. So when I saw that this index was pumping when Bitcoin and everything else is relatively flat, it sort of says to me that there must be one coin in this index that's really pumping and dragging this index up. And sure enough, ICX is a component in this index. Just like an ETF has a basket of stocks. If there's one stock that's up 60%, that ETF is probably going to be up 5% or so. And sure enough, that was the case. So in this instance, we can make the assumption that Icon is likely going to correct. It has so far, and then we can short the index on FTX, and so far that is playing out nicely. So let's see if this is just another bounce before we head lower. When we look at this hourly chart, and we've just closed this big hourly candle, I'd say that the odds suggest that we are going to have some sort of pullback or consolidation or equilibrium range. Maybe we continue higher, but these things normally come undone. There's people that are sitting on huge profits that are up 200% this week. There's always some level of profit taking, but overall, when we consider how far down these are from all-time highs, this is CoinGecko.com. There's a long way to go. A lot of these coins are down 99%, and they're only just getting back. Let's find Icon in this list here. ALF was in that list today, so Icon is still down around 96%. So yeah, there's a long way to go. We know that if there's new people coming into the space, I've got the Altcoin t-shirt out for first time in a long time. We know that as money comes into this space, these small market cap coins, they can continue to grow. But I think it's going to be slightly different. You just need to be aware that we didn't really have the degree of margin trading available on a lot of these indexes, and even Binance has got it on individual coins now. Kraken, you name it. Even I've heard a few of the local exchanges sort of looking at how to do leverage, because everyone wants leverage, and that is attracting people to altcoins. Because, hey, let's face it, if you catch some of these trades, there's a lot of money to be made in a short period of time. Now, that goes both ways. If you're a beginner and you're tempted to jump on and start trying to margin trade, I can't encourage you enough to get a practice account, or do a trading course, learn some rules, hang out with good people. Don't put all your money in, because you are going to be on the other side of that screen, and you're going to be losing a lot to begin with to people that are experienced. So that sort of brings us to the next talking point at the moment, and that is Tesla. Before I do that, I'll just mention a few of the fundamentals. So yes, Icon has had a fair bit of good news lately. Talk about this partnership with Chainlink. They've done the snapshot for staking, so staking and earning those rewards. That's very attractive at the moment. So there tends to be a little fundamental catalyst that lights the spark for these smaller cap projects. Then it takes off, and all of a sudden it goes from zero buyers and only sellers for months and months on end. All of a sudden we have these huge percentage moves. So that's kind of the way that I see these things playing out at the moment. So Tesla pre-market $800. So just before I started recording here, it was down a little bit in pre-market trading. So let's just have a look at the 5-day chart of Tesla. Zoom out even a little bit more, 3 months. And it's just gone parabolic. Let's bring it up on our proper charts. You can see it a little bit better. But you guys know the story. I've spoken about this, and this is one that I have been looking to short as well. Last week when we spoke about it, it was around $600, and I was saying that you have to be aware that this has got a large float of the stock that's been borrowed to short on Wall Street. So when that happens, if they get the good news around the earnings that we're looking for, this can cause a short squeeze, and that is exactly what's happening at the moment. So for a stock that's gone from $200 last year to nearly $800, well, it's trading over $800 now in pre-market trading. This really is crazy. So I think I asked you guys today on Twitter, what do you think about this? Do the fundamentals justify price? And there's two basic arguments here, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on this, and there's people that have argued this to the death. But is Tesla a technology company, a software company? Should we be valuing it like Apples and Amazons of the world that didn't necessarily make any money or profit for a long time until all of a sudden they're $1 trillion company with billions of users, and then they start to generate more and more profit? At the moment, we've seen a real sort of green theme in terms of investing, and even the mainstream media. I think last night in the Sunday video, we reported about bans for oil and gas ads in newspapers and on TV in certain countries. We've now got hedge funds that won't invest in these companies. And I've read some news articles saying that oil and gas is turning into the new sort of cigarette company, where they were hugely profitable companies up until the 50s and 60s, and we sort of knew that they cause cancer, and we know that the renewable energy is the likely better path forward, but still these companies are profitable. They have a lot of power and sway, and they give money and donations to politicians. But is all that changing at the moment? So I think all that sort of plays in Tesla's favor. But anytime as a trader, when I see a chart that goes like this, I think to myself, how can every analyst in the world that has an opinion on Tesla, and they're doing all the fundamental research about the valuations, how can all that information and this, the efficient market hypothesis, which we spoke about last week on the channel, how can all that information be out there in the universe, and yet this stock is wrongly priced from $200 to $800? With nothing really has changed. There's talk lately about batteries and the factories in China, but really has anything changed from the car company? There's lots of competition. Every other car company out there has now got a battery powered sort of segment. They're looking to break into that industry. So I don't think Tesla are going to have a 90% market share or anything like that. I think everyone else is going to catch up to them. So some people tell me the technology they've got, your Tesla is going to be like your iPhone. It's going to do everything for you, your smart car, and that's where the value is going to come from. But who knows? I'm really interested to know what you guys think. But personally, this is the sort of thing where I am looking to get a short on. So this is up in pre-market trading, so I might put on a trade and let's see where it opens tonight in the US market time. An analyst put a target out of $7,000. So, hey, if it gets to $7,000, I think that would be a great short. But, I don't like to use leverage too much on these sort of plays. I'm quite happy to use no leverage. And you're paying basically nothing to keep this trade open. And I think at some point in the future, once this parabola blows off its top, whenever that may end, I think gravity comes into play and it does unwind. And even if that's just back down to 600 where we were the other day, I think likely lower once the euphoria comes out of the market and even the wider stock market has a bigger correction. I just don't know. I don't see a case where there's going to be no profit taking for people that have quadrupled their money in a few months' time. But these markets are crazy at the moment. The shorts are getting squeezed, and that does mean that it can go higher. But know your options. Get that practice account over at eToro. Practice your trading. These are lifelong skills. If we have a market crash, people were talking about the Aussie dollar dropping to record lows the other day. These are the sort of things where you can just build these lifelong skills and learn how to hedge your portfolio and wealth longer term. So other things I wanted to talk about today, and then I'll have a look at some questions from you guys. Let's just check on how our friend Icon is going over here on the 5-minute chart. Just want to give you guys a quick heads up on a lot of things that are happening on the channel and a few updates we've got. So our monthly segments have been really popular. Obviously, the housing update, our weekly roundup of all the macro news is our most watched episode. But we are going to start a monthly Ethereum update because there's just so much happening on DeFi. So Anthony Sass, he's actually an Aussie guy. He is all over the technical side of things, and I'm trying to bridge that gap because I find whether it's Ethereum or a lot of communities, they don't build that bridge between the developers and what's happening really inside the ecosystem with the retail support or the influencers. And Ethereum has gone down this route of saying they want to do more marketing, not shilling, but just building awareness. All of a sudden, they've realized that they've got these cool apps and this DeFi, but does 99% of the general public have no idea they can earn 6%, 7% interest in these apps, and they can have their name as their address on their crypto wallet to send money to their friends by using their name. All this stuff is now there, and that's where I see a big use case for someone like myself getting involved and hopefully bridging that gap for you guys as well. So each month with your questions, your comments, hopefully this is going to keep us up to date. And if any other big things happen, obviously we're covering other projects as well, but I think this one is going to be really popular as more and more people are realizing why I've been such a big ETH bull for so long. So in terms of the channel, what we're doing going forward, we are about to have a big update for the website. So we want to have a bit of a login portal. We do a lot of our stuff in Slack and on Facebook, and I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, so we have started this weekly digest a year or so ago. This is extremely popular. Over 1,000 people get this. So this is a deep dive into all the news, a few of our favorite picks, sentiment, key dates, and whatever. So a few low-cost items for those people there. Obviously, our main product is our premium area with our research, and you do get access to the community and whatnot there as well. I'll give you a sneak peek of some of these precious metals reports that we've been doing lately. So this is really top quality research that I'm paying a guy that's in the industry some good money to produce these reports for you. So I'm not going to go through it all, but these are sort of things where we want you just give you guys the extra education. Those of you that want that, we want that to be really affordable for everyone, because we've got so many good people in Australia that are knowledgeable in these different sectors. Precious metals and gold and silver heading into that bull market. That's something that I know a lot of you are interested in, and trading those ETFs. Once again, a lot of those ETFs are available on eToro, and you can trade them for no fees and no cost as long as you're not using leverage. And I did explain all that in that tutorial last week. And our 5 fundamentals monthly report. So this is another report you do get if you become a member. So even if you don't like Facebook, you're getting all these extra reports and emails and whatnot as well. And just running through what we think are 5 of the best projects. And they're not always necessarily investments. These days, some of the best projects are actually things like Uniswap, where you can earn interest by contributing liquidity to the pool, or using Compound and these lending protocols. The Pool Together Lottery, we've done a tutorial on. So yeah, we are trying to pick hidden gems. My number 1 pick for this year was in one of our recent reports. And again, as always, I had a comment from someone the other day, used to do everything for free. Well, that's kind of true, but the same way I found that wasn't a long-term sustainable business model. The staff to pay, doing all this research, running the business. Anyone knows that these things take time and money. So we will always share these sort of things with the public at a later stage, whether it's a few weeks later or whatnot, a month later. So yeah, we don't want to hold too much back, but we do want to give that premium extra content for those people that do want a little bit more. So yeah, hopefully that's all sounding pretty good. The final thing is, I guess we just want to add more services. So we're now finding a different demographic of person. We're getting a lot of high net worth investors. So we're getting some conversations of people that are multi-millionaires that are wanting to put $500,000 in Bitcoin and in crypto. So how to spread that around. I've had a number of you contact me about getting that the contact for my personal broker. So if you're buying amounts over $50,000, we do recommend you get in touch with Hivex or Caleb and Brown. Even Ainsley Bullion, those guys do help people not only buy their crypto, but a lot of people want to take their profits into gold and silver, or vice versa, use their gold and silver to go back into crypto in the next bull market. If Bitcoin's at $100,000 and gold and silver hasn't moved that much, I know personally that'll be the sort of thing where I might look to rotate from one to the other. So these are sort of options that are available. You've got to think about your plan. I'll talk about all that in more detail. But for high net worth in particular, I think we want to start a product, maybe a monthly call with a crypto fund manager. You guys can jump on. I'm not sure how many high net worths we have watching the YouTubes, but I just want to let everyone know that we are seeing a different demographic of client entering the market, and we do want to cater for a little bit of everything. So that's all on that front. Let's head over and have a look at the chat while we keep one eye on ICX. Let's keep one eye on this trade. 135. So if this does continue down, I do think that this index is going to continue lower as well. All right, over to the chat. Tesla has had some good news come out for sure. The volume bar on ICX was huge, yeah. A lot of people did sell their ICX. Progress on Richard Hart interview. So if you guys are interested in Hex, I kind of think he keeps messaging me. I think he does want to come on and chat. I'm happy to chat if you guys want to chat about Hex, but I think it's kind of been and gone. I was hoping they'd go down in a direction, another direction, let's just say that. But when I saw them move all their ETH over to the Bitfinex exchange, I don't like a lot of things about it, but hey. Have a look into Algorand's. I think that these protocols, the Me Too protocols, are going to struggle a little bit unless they get some big businesses and use cases compared to these other ones. Aeon is one of the others that's up big time today. Let's just have a look at this chart again. I think that was second or third on the list. Aeon up 32%. So I'm not sure what Aeon had good news today. I haven't checked that one yet. Not one that I keep a close eye on. Love to get Elon on for an interview or podcast. For sure. London have set a date for 15 years, no fossil fuels. That's definitely one of the reasons that Tesla's pumping the UK, talking about these new regulations. IOTA did have some good news, launching their AlphaNet about removing their coordinator node. You know that this has been probably the one thing which I've been watching for to get really bullish on IOTA. It's somewhere high on my list here. Another one that had a pretty good run, I think it was yesterday, and in the last few days. And once again, these sort of things tend to unwind a little bit. But yeah, IOTA is still down a long way. I think its peak was, $3 or $4, so it's still probably down around 90%. Like we said, it's just getting started if we are entering this altcoin bull market. Smart cities, yeah, the 5G network, the rollout, someone was talking about all that. That is possibly something that's going to give more credence to the Internet of Things style projects. And these proof of stake networks, if we have that 5G technology where they can all talk to each other quickly and efficiently. 32 ETH for proof of stake, Jamie says. Can we use your guys for self-managed super funds? Can you buy a membership as an investment in your self-managed super fund? Yeah, so for tax purposes, for any of our products, obviously depending on your individual situation, as always with tax, but yeah, plenty of our members claim the membership as a tax expense, or they claim it in their self-managed super fund as well. So our membership products, those other things, fairly sure they can be claimed. Best way to get Aussie dollars into FTX, you just join FTX and you link your bank account. And I believe they do have some of the lowest fees. We are working on another promotion with FTX to once people deposit, to maybe get you a little bonus and that sort of thing as well. They do want to get their name out in Australia. They've got the Aussie dollar deposits at the moment. Thoughts on Blackmore's? I haven't looked at Blackmore's stocks recently, so I don't know if $82 is fair value, if it's gone up or down. But when I was in the pharmacy world, Blackmore's was a bit of a play on breaking into China. So Blackmore's has got a bit of a premium name in Australia. You'll find that their vitamins are a slightly higher price than other brands. In the pharmacy world, we used to use, companies would use things like gold and silver labels and packaging, and that would create more of a premium brand recognition from the customer. A glass bottle is better than a plastic bottle. These are sort of the tricks of the trade that people use with vitamins, and they're hoping to break into that Chinese market. Quick rundown on REN. So Republic Protocol is a protocol in the world of DeFi for dark pools. So basically you want to be able to trade larger blocks of crypto, large blocks of shares without knowing who's on the other side of the trade. So at the moment, a good example would be A16Z, who's a crypto hedge funds. They bought some synthetics, and someone noticed they told me, I told our members, synthetics goes on a bit of a pump, and that's because it's all on the public Ethereum blockchain. So in future, as this space develops, every time a hedge fund buys or sells, they don't really want to be letting everyone in the space know. So that's where things like dark pools become really important. So that's the idea behind Republic Protocol. Thorchain is a newer one. They're talking about being a bit of a competitor, but even linking between chains as well as Ethereum and all the ERC20 tokens to allow people to trade there. Will stocks start buying on crypto projects? Well, Apple and these other companies have got them that much cash, they could theoretically buy the current Bitcoin market cap. But as you know, if they started trying to buy every Bitcoin around, people would hodl and drive the price up. Just like when central banks start to print money, it's going to drive the price up of crypto. If the first central bank tries to buy Bitcoin with printed money, that is going to start a chain reaction of central banks around the world trying to buy up Bitcoin. And they're already trying to do that, I think, with gold and oil. They're just printing money out of thin air to buy resources off other economies, and that leads to tensions and trade wars. I haven't looked at Zinfin Network, sorry. I don't have any thoughts on did you buy it too much. yeah, I just don't know what they're doing that a lot of other projects aren't necessarily doing. So it's all about partnerships for me and who's starting to use them in the real world. And that's pretty clear cut. We can see with a lot of projects that I like. Crypto Brownie says he did buy membership to our group through his SMFF yesterday. Very cool. Ravencoin, did an interview with Ravencoin a little while back. We've seen a lot of securities, businesses, tokenized property, all that is happening on Ethereum. But yeah, those other chains as well. If it's happening, if people are tokenizing securities on Ravencoin and whatnot, once again, do they have business partnerships? Are real world businesses actually going to start using that protocol? But I do like the fact it's proof of work and trying to do that. Hashgraph, I think Hashgraph was probably one that was overhyped and a bit overvalued. And Mike Maloney, who's a great guy, love Mike, everything gold and silver, because he's so big. When someone that big puts his support behind a project, it's almost like, it almost creates a small cap coin where it sort of pumps when there's a lot of hype and everyone buys in. So Mike did get behind that, and so did a lot of other people, not just him. There's a lot of hype around Hashgraph, and when it lists, all of a sudden there's dozens of other protocols that are ahead of it. So once again, unless they have a lot of business partnerships and use case, all of a sudden it's tough competition out there. How many places can you use crypto in Tassie? So a couple of my friends that have got restaurants in Tassie and cafes do accept Bitcoin. With Travel by Bit, you can book a lot of your accommodation and flights ahead of time, and we've got a bit of a partnership with Travel by Bit coming up where they're going to price match guarantee. So if you buy your flights with crypto, they are going to guarantee best prices, and I think you even get a bit of a rebate, like 3% Bitcoin back, as well as best price guarantee. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'll let you guys know. Travel by Bit. What do I think might happen to the stock price of Tesla tonight? I really don't know. I'm waiting to see what happens at market open, but it's already gone up over 800, back down a little bit. Yeah, I've just got this feeling that I think there's a good short to be had here. I think there is the possibility to make, 20 or 30% without leverage, and they're the sort of opportunities that I try and be patient for and look to play. So yeah, we've got that deal running where you can get $100 Bitcoin when you sign up to trade on eToro. But practice account, guys, if it's the first time you're looking to trade. Okay, so let's just have a look on ICX. If you've just joined the stream, we've got nearly 300 watching now. This was my, trade of the day. So ICX has this monster run. Then we noticed that over on FTX, the shitcoin index is up 5%, 6%, when none of the other coins are up. They're all pretty flat. Now, as we're speaking, Bitcoin has just finally broken down from this level that it's been holding as well. Let's go to a different chart with less colors on it there. So that's breaking down. So to me, we head over. I say to myself, what is in this shitcoin index? Must have ICX in there. Yes, sure enough, it's got ICX in there. So now I head over to FTX and I place a short. And this is a sort of one where this is an advanced trade. I wouldn't recommend people do this at home unless you've got experience. So this is one where I did ramp up the leverage to 100x. I'm at the screen. And I put on quite a large trade, and that is sitting on a nice profit at the moment. So I might look to close that off soon. But these are why I keep harping on about it's important to learn how to short. These are lifelong skills you can make. You don't have to have a lot of money on an exchange because they do let you ramp up that leverage. Be patient. You might only do one trade a week, one trade a month when you've got these sort of opportunities that come along. And that's why I think it's worth learning to short, because you can short the Aussie dollar, you can short Tesla. If the stock market has a crash, you can short that. Someone's asking me about gold and silver stocks or ETFs. Big believer in precious metals and holding the real thing. But once again, if we enter a gold bull market, things like the GDXJ, the Silver Junior Miners Index, these are the type of things that are going to have big percentage moves. And if you know how to trade them, you don't have to use leverage. These things are going to have big moves, 100%, 200% over coming months, and you can hold them for no fees. And that's why I'm trying to educate people, because eToro gets a bit of bad feedback from some people saying, oh, there's big spreads and big fees. But that's for people that misuse them, people that jump on here and use 100 times leverage, and they don't use them the way that I'm trying to educate people about how to use them and pay no fees, take patient positions, like everything. The 90% of people lose because they do the wrong thing and try to get rich quick. They're not patient and they're not educated, and that's where I think it does present opportunity. So I hope all that makes sense. Yeah, you can withdraw Aussie dollars off FTX like any exchange. You just, you link up, you verify, it links your bank account, you can buy and sell. What do I think about iExec? I actually like iExec, RLC. I've done a fundamental analysis on that one. So that's a decentralized computing similar to Golem. I do like what they're doing. They're making themselves important to DeFi, partnering with Chainlink and that type of thing. My portfolio, I have had a few little shuffles lately. I've got rid of something like Digex, which is shutting down. For members, that is all going to be once we launch the new website. There's going to be a login here. You're gonna. We possibly even working on push notifications, maybe even a mobile app. I think that's the sort of things that. This is where the money is going, guys. We are building out this business. We are really excited to try and build something special for all of you guys and all of your friends that want to get into crypto during the next bull market. We want you guys to be getting push notifications and apps whenever I see something, whether it's world news, gold and silver, crypto, trade opportunities. We really are trying to build a really special product. And that's why we are really, I guess, grateful for our members and supporters of that sign up for all our reports, our membership, whether it's just the basic newsletter and whatnot as well. So yeah, none of this is possible without you guys. So I'm going to wrap it up there. It's 8:30. I am going to go wind down for the night. It is very exciting to see these altcoins pumping, guys. Don't forget, you can sign up to FTX. We are working on a bit of a special with them, and you already get that double discount. We've got the $100 sign up bonus for eToro going at the moment. And I think that's it for me, guys. So if you've enjoyed this, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share these videos around, and I'll talk to you again soon. Cheers.